You wake up, you commute, you work, you commute back, you sleep. You are paying your bills and staying out of trouble. Nothing is overtly wrong with your routine, yet absolutely nothing feels right. You are running on empty, trapped in a chronic baseline exhaustion that sleep can never fix. This is the exact reality for the three Yam siblings in the Korean drama My Liberation Notes. Every single day, they endure a grueling, spirit-crushing commute from their family farm in the rural outskirts of Sampo to their office jobs in the bustling center of Seoul. This map illustrates the physical toll of their reality. The glowing circle is Seoul, the epicenter of everything. That tiny dot is Sampo. This daily 3 to 4 hour loop serves as a physical manifestation of their emotional state. They spend their youth on the margins of existence, looking in on a life they can't quite reach. The youngest sibling, Mi-jung, eventually hits a breaking point. She recognizes that pursuing standard societal happiness, a promotion, a nice car, a good relationship, is entirely insufficient for this level of deep, systemic exhaustion. Adding positive things to a drained battery doesn't work. Instead of trying to be happy, Mi-jung decides on a radical alternative goal. She decides that she wants to achieve absolute, total liberation, which forces us to ask a very specific question. When you are trapped in the endless loop of an ordinary life, what is the actual difference between seeking happiness and seeking liberation? To find the answer, Mi-jung creates the Liberation Club within the sterile walls of her corporate workplace. She gathers a small group of colleagues who also feel entirely disconnected from the forced cheerfulness of office culture. The club operates on 3 strict rules. First, no giving advice. Second, no comforting each other. Third, just listen. They strip away the pressure to fix one another. Through these silent sessions, the show reveals that achieving true liberation requires identifying your own specific, internal psychological trap. We see this play out perfectly with the middle sibling, Chong-hee. Chong-hee's trap is the unwinnable race for societal status. He is obsessed with what he lacks, specifically wealth, prestige, and luxury cars. He exhausts himself trying to project an image of success to keep up with his peers in Seoul, feeling constant shame because he always falls short. Eventually, Chong-hee stops. He realizes he doesn't actually have to compete in this race. The rules of success he has been measuring himself against are completely arbitrary, and he realizes he can simply forfeit the game. By letting go of the exhausting need to be a somebody, Chong-hee stops suffocating. He discovers deep, enduring peace in accepting his own perfectly ordinary, average nature. The oldest sibling, Gi-jung, is stuck in a completely different kind of prison. She is desperate to find love and get married before the winter sets in, feeling the ticking clock of her own youth slipping away. However, her intense desire for romance is heavily masked. She uses harsh, defensive judgments of everyone around her as a shield. She finds flaws in every man she meets, proactively rejecting the world before it has a chance to reject her. For Gi-jung, liberation requires dismantling those defensive walls. She has to abandon her rigid, impossible standards of perfection and allow herself to be vulnerable to someone who is equally flawed. She eventually accepts a messy, highly complicated connection with a single father. She trades her fictional, idealized version of romance for something authentic, proving that emotional freedom requires tearing down your own self-imposed standards. The core emotional engine of the entire story belongs to Mi-jung and her relationship with Mr. Gu, a highly secretive, alcoholic outsider who works on her father's farm. They are both entirely numb to the world. Mi-jung approaches him with a shocking demand. She tells him she doesn't want traditional love. Traditional love has only ever left her feeling empty. Instead, she tells him to worship her. This diagram shows what worship means, an agreement to provide absolute, non-judgmental support. As the barrier dissolves, a solid structural foundation connects their bases. Expanding upward, it creates a safe harbor. Neither tries fixing the other, allowing chaotic external stressors to harmlessly bounce off. They sit together in silence. They drink together, and they walk. By offering absolute acceptance without demanding improvement, This unconventional dynamic acts as the precise catalyst that halts their respective downward spirals. When traditional romance fails, a radical demand for unconditional connection becomes the ultimate form of personal freedom. They save each other by removing the pressure to be saved. Fast forward to the resolution of the drama, and you notice something striking. Their external lives remain largely unchanged. They still have demanding jobs. They still live in the same spaces. They still have to commute. Yet their internal state has shifted. The suffocating weight is beginning to lift. They are walking through the exact same world, but they are no longer emotionally drowning. They have found the buoyancy required to endure. This circular gauge represents a standard 24-hour day, illustrating the show's deeply practical philosophy for survival. You don't need continuous joy. You only need to collect 5 minutes of peace a day. You gather tiny, distinct glowing fragments. 7 seconds when someone holds a door for you, 10 seconds of a cool breeze, a minute enjoying a good cup of coffee. Those accumulated minutes coalesce into a solid protective ring. 5 minutes of peace is enough to act as a permanent buffer against the inescapable friction of modern daily life. It keeps you breathing for the other 23 hours and 55 minutes. True liberation comes through the quiet shedding of societal expectations and the acceptance of one's present self. It is a persistent, daily practice of existing within the world without being crushed by it. We all have our own invisible weights. Tell me down in the comments, what is the one expectation or trap you need liberation from right now? And if you want to explore more stories that challenge the way we live, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you in the next video.